What's up, my movers and shakers? Famous Ashley Grant here. Welcome to More Movement, Please, podcast where I hope to inspire you to move your body more. So I am still on a little bit of a hiatus because I'm trying to build up the Patreon. And like I had mentioned in a previous episode, I am letting other people take over the show for just a little bit while I work on those assets. So today's voice note comes to us from Jessica Covington. She is the founder of Fit-ology, and she says that she is happiest when she's in the dance studio, on the beach, or deep in the woods. And she also talks a lot about ADHD. And so that's why I was so excited to have her voice note come in. And here's what she had to say.
The thing I want people to know about movement is that it's not just exercise. It's not just for our bodies. It's actually brain care. So often we think about movement as something we do to change our bodies, and we forget that one of its biggest benefits is what it does for our brains. Even if it's just a few minutes, movement improves attention, mood, creativity, mental energy, and more. And it doesn't have to be a workout to get that benefit. It doesn't have to be in the gym. 1 minute counts. 5 minutes count. A walk around the block, a dance off with your kids, taking the stairs, or stretching or doing air squats between meetings. All of it matters and builds up to a great big benefit. And it doesn't have to be perfect either. If you can't get around to moving more daily, that would be ideal. I would love that for everybody. But if it can't be daily, at least come back to it. Be persistent enough to come back when you fall out of the habit. And movement is great for every single brain that exists in the world. I happen to work with women who have ADHD, like I do, so for us it's especially important. But for anybody, movement is a powerful regulation tool. Physical activity helps us regulate attention and arousal. It's not just about burning energy. We all need to think more clearly. We all want to jump in and initiate tasks more easily and feel more emotionally regulated. And all of that can happen after we move our bodies. So it's less about getting tired and more about getting the brain into a state where it can function at its best, where it can function really well. A lot of us make the mistake of thinking, well, if I work out, I'm going to be exhausted and it's going to make me physically tired. But ironically, what we find is that it actually gives us energy. You can try some movement before challenging tasks, like if you have a difficult meeting or paperwork that you don't really want to do. Maybe you have to focus on something you're writing, or there's a conversation you've been avoiding. Just try moving your body first. And this works because the networks in the brain that govern both physical movement and motivation, dopamine, let's say, they're connected. They're physically connected inside the brain. So you can think of movement as really preparing your brain for something difficult. I teach a method that is called intensati that combines movement with spoken affirmations. So instead of exercising, looking in the mirror, and criticizing yourself the whole time, you're literally practicing empowering thoughts while your body is moving, which makes those thoughts even more powerful. It helps them really sink in, and you begin to embody these things that we repeat. Affirmations like, I'm powerful beyond measure, I'm stronger than I seem, I'm braver than I think, and so on. That combination matters because movement activates the body, speaking engages the language centers and breathing, and repeating intentional statements really focuses our attention. Doing all three together, plus listening to the music, plus listening to cues, plus understanding where your body is in space, and so much more, it creates a whole person experience that often is easier to remember and carry into everyday life than just positive thinking alone. So the goal here isn't fitness necessarily, it's self-trust. Every time you keep your promise to move, even if it's just for a minute or 2 minutes, you collect evidence that your brain can remember. It's evidence that you can follow through, and that counts because your brain is always looking for evidence of what you can do or what you can't do. And when you are persistent enough to come back to that movement habit day after day, it shows your brain that, in fact, you are somebody who can follow through and stick to something. And those small wins really build confidence that extends far beyond exercise. So don't underestimate what a few intentional minutes of movement can do. You're not just strengthening muscles, you're strengthening your brain and your mood and your confidence. And sometimes the best workout isn't even necessarily the hardest one, it's just the one you actually do.
Thanks for tuning in to More Movement, Please. I hope the messages from today's episode inspired you. If you'd like more content, check out our Patreon. And if you'd like to be on the show, head over to famousashleygrant.com/fitness. Onwards and upwards, my friends. Have you worked out today?